A fundamental change in the way that AI has been used so far is now about to happen. This will affect over 1 billion people on planet Earth. What is it? We'll get to that right now. Apple's recent developments in AI, branded as Apple Intelligence, are set to shape the future of personal devices. However, limitations on device compatibility raise questions about accessibility. So that's the subheading of this article from The New Yorker. Apple is bringing AI to your personal life, like it or not. And thank you, Kyle Shaka, for this. Last week, Apple held its developers conference. Much of the presentation this year was devoted to AI, or as the company is branding it, Apple Intelligence. Apple is so far taking a narrower approach than previous big tech companies. The AI model it is unveiling on iPhone hardware is relatively weak. So what does that mean? They mentioned that GPT-4 has 1.5 trillion parameters, and Apple's initial model will only have about 3 billion. However, for queries that require more horsepower, users will be offered the option to outsource a task via the cloud to ChatGPT, and this is an Apple corporate subscription to ChatGPT. Accordingly, the reaction to the conference presentation has been muted, meaning most people are like, this is no big deal. One writer suggested that maybe Apple is wary of overinvesting in a technology that isn't quite as far along as it's marketed to be. Regular users of these tools know that. You really have to pay attention to what comes out of them. However, this is a small model that could eventually be nested on more than 1 billion iPhones around the world. This crosses a Rubicon. AI is entering our personal lives, and once it's there, it's not likely to retreat. As demonstrated at the presentation, AI for the iPhone will soon be available to rewrite your emails for you, summarize your overactive group texts, and triage your notifications. I personally am looking forward to that one. Apple CEO Tim Cook described the tool as a new personal intelligence system. The human being using it becomes engaged in a kind of automation of the self. Over the past 2 decades, Apple has succeeded in integrating iPhones into all of the mundane tasks of life: contacting friends, navigating places, sending work emails, and making payments. Its introduction of Apple Intelligence marks a step into a new technological era. Call it the domestication of generative AI. This operating system update will access all of your day-to-day information: where you travel, if you have location turned on, what you read, who you talk to, and when. It has to understand you and be grounded in your personal context, like your routine, your relationships, and more, Cook said during the event. Apple Intelligence, which performs like a turbocharged Siri, is more of a ghost in the machine, animating the functions of your phone. The AI community calls this sort of tool an agent, and we've talked on a few videos here about how AI agents are going to become the huge new thing this year and next year. And this is Exhibit A of that. Let your AI agent access all of your contacts, texts, and calendars, and it will competently plan your life. The fact that Apple AI is designed to run on the device itself rather than via the cloud promises to protect users' vulnerable personal data to some extent. Yet generative AI remains prone to random misunderstandings. It has no ability to determine what is factually accurate or connected to reality. By the way, if you like this video, please like, subscribe, and share. Also, please support us on Patreon. We need your financial support to go to TED.AI and other cutting-edge conferences where new AI-empowered solutions are being released every single month now. One can imagine that a single bizarre accident might be enough to turn an iPhone user off of AI. And he gives an example about misscheduling picking up a relative from the airport. The Apple event revealed a certain softening of the company's walled garden approach to personal technology. So then he goes on to say, historically, Apple has created a completely self-contained ecosystem that hasn't allowed or been connected to outside things. Obviously, that's changing because your iPhone will also be connected to ChatGPT. And then he describes some of the new stuff coming I'm not going to get into because it's not the main point. The effect overall of the changes in the user interface is it's friendlier, almost personified. The AI technology that Apple is demonstrating may not be the most powerful out there, but it sends a powerful message that AI belongs in every corner of our lives. So this really is a complete sea change in the penetration of AI into day-to-day life. So far, though, I've come to think of AI as an accelerant for the kinds of automation already taking place on the social media internet. Think your algorithmic feed. These feeds prove our tendency to look in whatever direction our machines point us, capturing our attention. With AI on our phones, a similar force will exert itself on our lives even outside of social media. So this is really is a sea change. On one level, we may feel relieved to seamlessly automate some details of our cluttered lives away. But doing so means relinquishing control over the most basic units of human communication. The new announcements left me craving a dumb phone, since those machines at least cannot attempt to think for me. So let's summarize this. Number one, huge change. Right now, you have to specifically on purpose go use ChatGPT or DALL-E 2 or Stable Diffusion or whatever for it to be in your life. This is completely different. Your next major iOS update will integrate AI into the minute details of your personal life. This is a complete game changer. That's number one. Number two, while Apple is certainly better at privacy than any other major tech company, there's no guarantee here that these very private details of your life won't get exposed at some point. And number three, as the guy says at the end, this really is an accelerant of controlling your attention. And that needs serious thought. Because for me personally, as a personal example, one of the things I used to pride myself on was how much I could control my attention and be focused on one thing at a time. Even without AI on my iPhone, that has gotten much more difficult. This will become extremely difficult now. And when you're not in control of your attention, you're not in control of you. So this needs real thought. And it sounds like you would actually have to switch phones to get rid of this, which is an interesting comment. So a lot to think about here. Please post comments. This is a great video to hear all your comments on, and I hope you do. So thanks as always for tuning in. I love you guys. You've helped this channel grow to where it's in like the top 8% of channels. I greatly appreciate that. Please continue to help me grow by liking, subscribing, and sharing. Also, please support me on Patreon. Since I'm not monetized, that will be very helpful. And soon, very soon, I'm going to roll out Buy Me a Coffee as well. Thanks so much. Take care. We'll see you next time.